Welcome back. We are back and better than ever. It's Table Talk Sports, everyone. I am High C with Gunslinger, Big Play Nate, and Bruiser. It has been a long time, has it not? It's been over 360 days since our last recording, and we are back for Season 2 of Table Talk Sports. Now, it's been a while since we've been able to record, but that's been due to technical issues and just scheduling conflicts. But we're glad to be back. If you're glad that we're back, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. And don't forget to continue to watch more of our episodes. Let's dive right in. It's our red hot topic, and we have a good one today. It is NFL Week 17 coming up starting this Thursday with Thursday Night Football. And the playoff picture is starting to be formed. And it has been an exciting season with a lot of underdog teams and a lot of teams that we thought would be good. So let's go to Big Play Nate, who's going to explain more of the playoff picture.
So the NFL playoff works with all the four division winners get the top four spots, and then the next three teams with the best win-loss record get the last three spots. AFC and NFC playoff pictures are both tight, especially the race for the AFC North division. But I'm going to bring up a few things on the most surprising team in the playoff picture that I don't think anyone was expecting to be this good, and as well as a team that no one is even thinking of that's looking in on the playoff. So in the AFC North is filled with the Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers, Cleveland Browns, and Cincinnati Bengals. Normally, you see races between the Browns, Steelers, and the Ravens. But actually, the number 3 seed and the leader in the AFC North is the Cincinnati Bengals with a 9-6 win-loss record. They absolutely annihilated the Baltimore Ravens Sunday afternoon, 41-21. Joe Burrow throwing for 525 yards. This guy is starting to come to form after an injury wrecked his season last year. What do y'all think about his performance and the Bengals' playoff chances?
I mean, it's the Bengals, let's be real. I have to say I've loved the Bengals, honestly. Joe Burrow, he's been my man. I'm just excited to see, like a brand new team in that division. It's very interesting, the Bengals, they're past the Andy Dalton era, they're past the A.J. Green era. This is the new Bengals. They aren't who they were before, and I think that's what they're trying to go out there and try to prove is that they aren't the Andy Daltons in the past. He was never good enough to get them past that wild card. And I think this team could make a sort of run just like the Browns did last year. I think they can make that sort of run this year.
I 100% agree. I think that Burrow can lead this team to a new stage where they are, because for the past many years they have been stuck in this sometimes playoffs, but they lose in the first round, kind of like how the Dolphins have been. And Burrow's really elevated his team, and I think they can make a solid run, maybe make it to the championship game if they play well.
You've also been a solid believer since you're an LSU fan, but
go Burrow.
Well, that's because like half the team is LSU. You got the LSU quarterback and the LSU wide receiver. So let's keep that in mind.
The thing is, you brought up they're like the Browns last year. The difference between the Browns and the Bengals this year is the Browns last year started getting together at the end of the season. They started actually working together. The Bengals have been working together the entire season. They've been working. They've been clicking everything. Which that's the impressive part about this. Their entire team is youthful, yet they are working like the Patriots were when they went undefeated, and all those guys were veterans on that team. They have been in sync the entire season, except those 2 games that they lost in a row. But other than that, they've been right on it. Burrow has been able to pass to any of the receivers, and they've come down with the ball. That's one reason they've continued to win, is that Burrow, he's fantastic at passing, but his receivers also can catch.
But doesn't that worry you a little bit that is the scheme going to run out when they get to that playoff round? Is the question.
They're getting to the playoffs no matter what. Honestly, they might even win the AFC North, but I'm picking them to lose first round. With the playoff picture it is now, they're going to play New England. New England is coached by one of the best coaches ever, Bill Belichick. Mac Jones is playing on a high level, and the Patriots' defense is better than the Bengals' defense. The Patriots will beat the Bengals if they come together in the playoffs.
The Patriots would get smashed. The Bengals would destroy them.
I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, that's a different issue for another time, but Mac Jones is the future of the New England Patriots. So it's very
Mac
interesting.
Jones is a foothold. Mac Jones is a foothold.
I mean, it goes to show Bill Belichick's legacy that he isn't the quarterback. He is the coach. But honestly, the way the Patriots are playing right now, they are a team. They are the team to beat right now. Let's look at the Chiefs. Let's look at the Bills. Then you got the Patriots right there. I mean, they are one of the teams to beat this year, which has surprised many people because they thought that the Patriots were done after Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay. But honestly, I think that Mac Jones could carry this team far, and maybe a shoe-in for the Super Bowl. I mean, is that pushing it too much?
The only team that can beat the Bengals is the Chiefs. That's the only team. And the Patriots, they're going to lose the first round, possibly to the Bengals. The Patriots don't have a well enough momentum or the togetherness of their team where the Bengals have that. The Bengals also have a talent enough to be able to fight against the Chiefs. I don't think they would pull it out if they met, but they have enough firepower to play the Chiefs. I think that it's either going to be the Chiefs or the Bengals in the Super Bowl. That's going to be the AFC side.
That'd be an interesting thing to see. But now in the NFC, there's one team that's not yet in the playoffs, but is looking in and looking for some help. When you think of NFC playoff teams, the Packers, the 49ers, Cardinals, the Buccaneers, the Rams, the Cowboys, all those teams fighting for playoff spots, some of them very close to officially locking them up. There's a team looking in on the inside for a 7 seed. The Atlanta Falcons are still in the playoff hunt, people. They are still in the playoff hunt. If, with a little bit of help, if they win their next 2 games and the Eagles lose both, they're in. The Falcons could be a playoff team this year. If that pulls it off, what would you think of that?
Well, also, the problem is they'd also need some help from losses from the Saints and the Vikings. The Vikings just lost the game.
Well,
if New Orleans wins a game, they will jump to the 7th seed. Well, in that case, if the Eagles if they lose both games, they still have to get through New Orleans. If they beat New Orleans, oh yeah, you're correct, because if they win both games, one of which is against New Orleans.
Well, so let's look at the schedule real quick. I mean, their remaining schedule is the Bills and the Saints. They are going to beat the Bills right now. And
we also didn't think the Lions would beat the Cardinals.
Well, again, that's true, but we look at the game last week against Detroit. Matt Ryan did not look like a good quarterback. He's dust right now. He's not the quarterback he was. This team has no weapons other than Kyle Pitts, who's going to go win most likely, maybe even Offensive Rookie of the Year. I don't know. It's a very likely shoe-in, but still, they aren't necessarily the team to beat. They don't have any defensive weapons. They have a very interesting offensive standpoint. So when I look at the team, I'm thinking to myself, could this team beat the Saints? Depends if they have a quarterback. The Saints have a quarterback? No, I don't think they're going to beat the Saints. Could they beat the Bills? No. So do I think they're going to win out? No. Do I think that the Eagles are going to lose? No, I don't. So honestly, I think the Falcons are a nice little idea, but they're not going to make the playoffs. And even
Foyeside Alukin is a defensive mainstay. He has 166 tackles. That is second in all of the league behind Bobby Wagner. Matt Ryan has shown signs of himself. Yes, he's not the quarterback he was in 2016 when the Falcons led the Super Bowl, but he also had a Calvin Ridley, a Julio Jones, a Tevin Coleman, and a Devonta Freeman all in their primes.
Okay,
the Falcons aren't going to get to the Super Bowl whether they make the playoffs or not. That's a given fact. But they still have a shot. That's all I'm saying.
The last time we saw a team as bad as the Falcons make the playoffs was the New York Giants when they won the Super Bowl against the undefeated New England Patriots. That was the last time we saw a team as bad as the Falcons make the playoffs. That team, if they had lost one more game, would have never made the playoffs. If one other team had won one more game, they would have never made the playoffs. It's literally by chance they made the playoffs. Same with the Falcons. Too much has to land in their favor. It's not like, all right, we just have to win out. No, it's we have to win out. We have to have these people lose out, these people lose out, these people lose out. That it becomes an if situation of if they all lose out, we still have to win.
You look at the Eagles' schedule too. You said that they would have to lose the rest of their games. They play Washington this Sunday, and Washington are a decimated football team who got absolutely embarrassed by Dallas last night. It was like 56-13, I believe, was the final score.
Fighting their own teammates.
They were basically fighting each other at the end of that game. So Why are we saying the Falcons are going to make the playoffs when they are dependent on teams that look red hot, playing teams that are absolute garbage, and their remaining schedule is one of the hardest in the NFL at this point? So I just don't see it. So that's really my point. What do you think, Gunslinger, on that? Gunslinger, do you have any ideas on what do you think about that?
Well, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but I do see what Big Play Nate is saying, because if they have these go their way, they can win. And a lot of times, football's a game of chance, and a lot of times they get lucky and they'll get thrown in. And like you were saying, the 2000 and don't remember exactly the year, but whenever the Patriots were sorry, what?
2016 was the year.
No, I'm not talking about the Falcons. I'm talking about the Giants. Whenever the Patriots were undefeated, they were 8-8, and they made it by a game. If they lost the game, they would have missed it. If another team lost the game, they would have missed it, but then they went and won a Super Bowl. So it really depends. If the Falcons make it, it's a new game, because everybody's 0-0 when the playoffs start. So we'll see what happens.
Well, yeah. So, the fans in Atlanta are definitely going to be keeping an eye on the NFL schedule for the remaining 2 weeks of the season, trying to see if their Falcons can rise up and make the playoffs. Well, this concludes the Red Hot topic. If you join us in the next video, we're going to head on to our 2 big stories of the week, one of which include a shocker that's going to stun the world as we know it. Please join us in the next episode. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for stopping by. I'm High C with my co-host once again, Big Play Nate, Gunslinger, and Bruiser. We'll see you in our news stories section.